Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I am taking a little break today from my ocean sea themed journals. I want to play with some paper dolls. I got a couple of new kits. I'm a huge fan of paper dolls. So these are from Hearth Studios, and I just thought they're so stinking cute. Now these actually have a back to them, but I printed it going the wrong way. So anyway, I just love playing with paper dolls. So I'm gonna make these. I got these from Pixie Dust Files. So some dresses and then the doll heads, and I'm gonna put these guys together. And then for their legs, I have some stamps. I'm gonna see if one of my stamp sets works for these. So then after I put some of these together, I am going to make some pockets for them. And what I was thinking is to maybe, let me show you. So I made these pockets, just to give you an example, for my ocean journals. I backed them with some paper that I painted, and I put some extra goodies on here. But this came with a kit. I just kind of added my own flair to some of it. And I wanted to take this idea, and I was thinking I could put a hinge on it, so it could kind of be a tip-in on a journal page if somebody would want to use it that way. So that's what I'm thinking, and it's going to be my Diva Delight project for June. So that's what I'm planning on doing today. So I'm going to start by putting some paper dolls together. So I am starting with a lot of fussy cutting. My hands actually got really tired. I did so much fussy cutting. And then on top of it, the ones that have the back to them, it was double, going through the thicker paper. It, yeah, kind of bothers my hands after a while, but so I put my dolls together, and then I remembered I've got these flowers, and they're kind of bulky because they have that center stem. And so I decided to grab those and cut some of the petals off and add to my dolls here. So I am just kind of gluing the petals going around their faces. Now I thought that I could kind of leave the petals attached, but it didn't really work going around the face. So I have to do the individual petals going around their faces, but that's okay. And I just love the way that these look. Just adds a little something. Can't really tell as much on the camera, but in person, of course, you can tell. So I have a couple of different colors, and some of the petals are a little bit different, so I'm just playing around with a variety. And like I said, these are going to be my Diva Delight project for Junk Journal Divas. I do a monthly project and just something fun that I want to create and send out to people in the group who want to participate in the Diva Delights. And you can sign up for it if you want, or if you happen to be too busy to participate in it, you can go off of the list for however long you want. But all we do is share projects, so just one person or more. I usually send obviously more out since I'm the one that is kind of oversees the projects. And it can be any project that you want. I share what I am making so people can follow along with me, or you can just make your own project. And I have lots of extra flowers, so I can send those out with my flower fairies. So now what I'm going to do for my pockets. So these pockets you actually fold so it has a front and a back, but I am going to be putting them on top of a tag to create my pocket. So I have to kind of add a hinge onto one of the sides. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm folding down the two sides that were already there, and then I just get a piece of scrap paper and create a little hinge to glue onto the other side. Now, of course, you wouldn't have to do this if your pockets are big enough, you could just glue it right down. You wouldn't need those little hinges on the sides, but I just wanted to kind of add a hinge since I already had some papers that had two sides done. So that's what I'm doing here. And now that I kind of know what kind of papers I'm using and I have my dimensions down, I realized that my tags are a little large. So I've got to cut a little bit off of these tags, which is no big deal. So just kind of mark that off, cut a little bit, and then I just have to fix my tops. And I'm going to use my hole punch to cut out my little thumb hole, and then I can go ahead and glue down my hinge that I made. And then also I did back all of my tags as well. So whatever papers you want to use to back them, whether it's just tea-dyed paper, I used some of my avocado paper, which I do have paper packs, all kinds of dyed papers and eco prints, lots of papers in my Etsy shop. So that link is also in my video description. So there we go. So this is working out. I like these a lot. I just got to make a couple more doing the same thing. And here you can see I'm kind of pushing my ruler down in just to make sure that I didn't glue down a part of the pocket. And here I'm cutting this is avocado dyed paper that I also put some tea dyed stuff on for some extra markings, and this is what I'm going to use to back some of my papers, some of my tags. And then when I'm gluing two papers together, I always like to burnish it. It just kind of spreads the glue out and just makes sure that that's glued together really well. And of course, inking edges, I ink all of my edges. So these two flower fairies do not have a back on them, and I decided just to glue these directly down onto the tag. So these two aren't going to be a pocket, they're just a flower fairy tag. I also forgot this blue one. I forgot to glue the wings onto the back of it, which is not really a big deal because you can't really see a lot of the wings. Probably nobody would even notice, but I did remember for the yellow one. So then I'm just going to continue the same process, and these are my completed tags. And now that I know what sizes I want of everything, I can just go ahead and cut some more papers, and I know the exact size. So then I'm taking another offcut of those papers, and I'm going to mark the edges of my tag, and then I can cut the corners of this piece off to create my pocket. And these were kind of hard to fold, some of them. So I'm using my ruler and just kind of put on the edge there to pull the paper up and around it. Some of them I was able to fold without any problem, but for some of them, yeah. So then I'm just going to burnish those edges down and make my hole, my thumb hole, and then I can go ahead and glue this pocket down. So here I'm just showing the same thing just to kind of show the process again. Cutting all those corners, folding them down, and then burnish it, and got your pocket. So this is great if you have any scrapbook paper that you don't really love for being a page. You can go ahead and cut it up and make little pocket tags like this. And again, you can always add a hinge so that it's kind of an add-on into your journal. And of course, I am backing all of my tags again. And these are just two pieces of cardstock that are going together. It's kind of a lighter weight, or I guess a medium weight cardstock, so it's not super heavy. And I am using Art Glitter brand, the brand of glue, and that's pretty much what I use for. It's my go-to glue, and it works great. Like, I had no problem putting on my petals or anything else that I added on. Even at the end, I add little gems, so it's a great glue. And by the way, if you have a different brand of glue that you love to use, let me know what it is in the comments. You know, us crafters are always very into our glue. And I'm already thinking about my next project that I want to do with these flower fairies. And I was thinking of a tag book. I haven't made one in a while. And I just love making them. They're so much fun to decorate. And yeah, that's just really probably one of my number one projects that I love to do. And there's so many different ways to construct them. So I'm just finishing these up and showing a little bit more of the process here. And then I did decide to put grommets in the top. So I'm just going to make my holes, add my grommets. Then that's another step that I have finished. And now I want to get my sentiments to add on. And I like to back it with a different color to kind of make a border around it. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I decided I didn't really want to cover any of this doll up. So I'm just going to hang it, the little dangle. And then these two tags will be pretty much finished. I'm happy with the way that they look. These are super cute. I might try to use these faces and make my own kind of flower going around it. I don't know. Lots of different possibilities, and I'm sure I'll come up with all different kinds of ideas once I start playing again. So these are finished, and I put this part in here because don't forget to sign your work. One of the things in the Diva Delights is people forget to sign their work, and then you're not sure, oh, who sent me this tag? So always remember to sign your work. So I'm just kind of seeing which fairies I want to go in which pockets. And now I'm moving on to the other dolls. So the dresses and the heads are separate. So I found these stamps and I stamped some cardstock, and I'm just using my watercolors just to add a little bit of color. And nothing fancy. You don't really have to stay in the lines or anything here because you're going to fussy cut them. So, and now I can give these girls some legs and some shoes. And I have a couple of different stamps, so I'll have to get those sets out and try some different options also for my next one. If you don't have stamps or anything, you could also go through magazines and look for different images in there. And if you need a different size, you could always glue the legs or whatever body part it is that you want onto a piece of white paper, and then you can photocopy it and change the size. That's what I have done previously. And for the arms were long, so I'm just kind of lining it up where I would want the hands to fall, and then I can cut the excess off. Now for these, I always like to add a little bit of fabric or something besides paper just to give it some dimension and different textures I love. So I'll probably go and maybe add a little ruffle at the bottom of their dress or something. And that will be in my next video, more paper doll play. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day. I've got my coffee in hand. Kids are at school. So I am revisiting these adorable little flower children, flower fairies. So far, I put them, I did the tags. And so they've got, I took the flower petals and put around the edges of them. And then I went around their heads with some, what are they called? Well, stickles, or I have Nouveau crystal drops. And here's a close-up because it's kind of hard to see in the video. So there are these that I made into tags, and I just hung these little things. Now I wanted to put some, maybe, I don't know about these, but on the other ones I wanted to put some sparkly embellishments or something. I also have some of these flower dangles that I could hang. So there's those two, and then the rest of them, I did pockets. I put a little dangle on this one. So these, their legs move and they are double-sided. So they will go down into the pockets. So there's one. Now I started off with this one, and you can see my dots ran together, so I just kind of went ahead and made a continuous line around this one. The pink, when it came out, it was much more controlled, I guess. So as you can see, I didn't add a sentiment here or any ribbon topper. So there's the yellow one, this one, there's another yellow one, let me see, so you can see the difference in the, oops, let's fix your leg there. You can see the difference in the flower petals that I used. Just trying different things. And then this one. And I will hold this one up, the last one that I did. These really took a long time for the backs. Also, lots of fussy cutting, because there's wings also that I cut out. Again, you can see the different flower petals that I used on these girls. So let's see, let's start. These are kind of finished. I need to add a sentiment to this one. Oh, and this kit also came with, I didn't cut out all of these, but these little flower pots I thought were cute. And they are also double-sided. So they could hang and be a dangle on some. And then I also did these little ladies. So these are two separate kits. There's the heads, the dresses, and then the legs and the arms are stamps. I'm not 100% happy with the color, but I can always go back over top of these with something super cute. And I gotta figure out what to, now these aren't backed, so I'll probably put these onto a tag. So put these aside for now. So I took the sentiments and I backed them on some black cardstock. I do have this one I think I put on here. So this is why I always say I like my messy edges, you know, the messy edges of my desk, because I tend to always grab things to use that are hanging out on the edges of my desk rather than getting up and getting something out that I know that I have. Like I have a bunch of fuzzy yarn, but I'm thinking I want to just do lace on these. So let's do that. So just kind of twist it in the center here so I can get them all through. And I can find the center and pull the rest of these guys through. There we go, we've got our topper. And these flowers I just got in Happy Mail, and they are perfect because they're flat. Unlike these that have that centerpiece, I had to pull it out. So around her head didn't quite turn out the way I wanted, but she's still super cute. Let's see, all these have toppers. I guess I just need one more here. I have this piece of trim that I cut, so I might just use a piece of these to just add a little something something. I don't even know that this one needs something. Maybe we'll leave that one. Now, if I had more time, this would look really nice if I did gold around the edges of these, my tags and whatnot. So I think I'm finished with these. So I have these ladies. These are going to be my Diva Delights, like I said. So these are ready to go. I also have these that I put together that I can do some tags with. So maybe I'll work on these next. And then I have a few of these flowers, and I thought these would be really cute for a flower head. These are pretty big too. So this is 4.5 inches going across. So these are quite big, but these would be perfect, right? so I might incorporate these. I will go ahead and I'm going to stop the video here. We will meet back up probably for some more flower fairies because I'm having a lot of fun playing with paper dolls as always. Once I start, sometimes I have a hard time stopping. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have some creative fun.